This is CES MMA.
Here is our Corona Extra tail of the tape, 3 rounds in the heavyweight division. Greg Ribz Rebello from Providence, Rhode Island. He clocked in at 225 yesterday. He is 16-6 with 9 KOs, taking on the 21-fight veteran J.A. Dudley. He weighed 225 at yesterday's weigh-in. Let's send it down to Adam Palazzo for the official introduction.
This is the Corona Extra bout of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 225 pounds, a veteran of 21 pro fights, hailing from Kearney, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, J.A. Dudley. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 226 pounds with a professional record of 16 wins and 6 losses, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Providence, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Ribz Rebello.
All right, guys, 3 round under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. Want a good, clean, fair fight. Any questions, red? Any questions, blue? Touch gloves if you want. Come out swinging.
Welcome back. We're live from Twin River Casino at CES MMA 26. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Reedman. Now we are in the cruiserweight division. Greg Ribz Rebello in the black trunks taking on J.A. Dudley in the gray.
Dudley gets a couple of quick right hands on the end of land on Rebello. Very unorthodox style Dudley comes out, almost dancing.
Dudley, if you remember, beat undefeated Willie Brown with a heel hook in June.
Correct, yeah.
Upset victory for Dudley. Although he is 7-14, the record can be deceiving. We saw what he could do in that last fight. That veteran presence sometimes means a lot. Rebello, of course, a veteran as well.
21 fights, correct.
Rebello coincidentally had retired in December, had announced that that was going to be his final fight, returned in June, or rather retired in June, returned in December. But he is coming off kind of a odd loss to Aaron Johnson in his last bout. He backed up a bit, Scott, and he tripped, fell, got caught in a guillotine, and that was all she wrote. Aaron Johnson made quick work of him in that bout. So Rebello right back in here in October, taking on the tough veteran Dudley.
Nice job by Greg to get underhooks and reverse himself off the cage there. Both fighters are exchanging knees.
Now, win for Dudley was the big one. He had lost 4 in a row in 6 of his last 7, but does have some decent wins on his resume, Scott.
Now, Greg's got to watch his neck, as we saw earlier with that guillotine. Dudley's trying to control that head, short knees, try to get himself off the cage. Rebello will be trying to grind down.
Among the fighters Dudley has beaten includes UFC vet Josh Hendricks, who Big John Johnson beat for the heavyweight
Rebello
title.
picks up Dudley with a slam. Nice job by Greg.
Nice turnaround by Rebello. And as you mentioned, Scott, Dudley was at least flirting with the idea of the guillotine. Rebello gets a takedown to
Well, he's
negate
still
that.
holding it. He's still holding on to Greg's neck at the moment, controlling the head. But you can see the right hand came out, so he got off it. Greg holding position in half guard. And Greg will stay here. He'll stay in half, look to advance, and just grind out from this position.
Rebello known for his Muay Thai striking, but certainly can ground and pound the best of them.
Well, he's done a lot of boxing too with Dave Keefe, of course, who's made a great transition from boxing to MMA.
Dave Keefe, who started out training Demetrius Andre, the WBO light middleweight world champion, now training many local MMA fighters here as well.
Here you see Greg made the pass to side control, but this is where Dudley's trying to get to his feet. Greg's going for trying to grab Dudley's neck here as well. Dudley looking for the single. Greg's trying to fight him off. Greg's trying to work his own guillotine here. And Dudley's out.
Just over 2 minutes to go here in round number 1.
You got a little blood coming out of Greg's nose. Greg looked to do a step over trip. That might have been from the two right hands that started off the fight from Dudley.
Yeah, it seems those were the 2 most effective blows landed, and really the only 2 effective blows landed in this opening round.
I think Greg wanted to back off with some separation here.
Rebello's certainly comfortable in this position, doesn't mind trading hands.
Nice straight left hand by Greg, but they're right back to the clinch.
Going back to the fight in which he announced his retirement, Rebello has lost 2 of his last 3, but still 16-6. At one point had won 11 consecutive fights really in the prime of his career about 4 or 5 years ago. And then suffered some setbacks on the Bellator stage and here at the CES MMA stage as well. Just over a minute to go in this opening round. Greg Rebello, J.A. Dudley.
Greg was dropping down looking for a takedown, and Dudley went after his neck. Greg's tried to grab Dudley again. Rebello tried to grab Dudley again and take him for a ride. And Dudley took that off.
Back to the center of the cage for the final minute. We'll see if Rebello can let his hands go.
Nice left hook by Rebello.
There's that Muay Thai kick. You're going to watch for those kicks from Rebello. You saw that against Cody Lightfoot 2 years ago right here in this CES MMA cage. Left Lightfoot a bloody mess in that bout, but that's how Rebello operates. 30 seconds to go in this opening round.
Nice body shots there. Dudley was saying that was below the belt. Greg trying to get some distance to punch. Now both fighters mixing it up in tight. Nice takedown by Dudley, but right at the bell. Not much time to work at all right here.
At the very least, a strong finish in this round for Dudley, trying to drive those knees into the midsection for a little bit of an exclamation point. Tough round to score, Scott. A few decent flurries, but a lot of clinching early on in this opening round. Let's listen into Greg Rebello's corner.
Relax, slow down, everything's cool. Just go here after that. It took me a second to breathe there. It's all right. Slow down, collect yourself. Okay, yep. You're reading all the striking machines. Yep. It's a lot slower, it's more tired than you. It's soft in the body. Okay, grab this and take your own one. Relax. You look great. I would like to see you disengage. You don't need to force the ground. I'm just collecting my shit, okay? Yeah, I know you're resting. You can rest while you dance. You don't rest on the cage. You can't rest on the cage. You rest when you're dancing. I'm usually Please don't clinch, Rebello. Disengage. Stay out of the clinch, Greg. You're great. You're all set. Slowing down a little.
Round 2 underway of a scheduled 3-round bout. Mike Parenti, Scott Ream, cage side at Twin River Casino. Greg Rebello taking on J.A. Dudley. You heard Rebello, you heard Mark Delagrati tell Greg Rebello, don't clinch, disengage. And here we go right away, but this time it's Dudley trying to clinch. Delagrati would rather see him exchange hands, at least in the center of the cage. Rebello in the black trunks, J.A. Dudley in the gray. And here they go, disengaged once more. We'll see if Rebello can do what his corner told him to do. Again with that straight left, you saw that in the opening round, Scott. Rebello leading with his left hand.
And that's exactly what you want from a southpaw. You know, straight left hand, double up the left hand, and finish with the right. I just want to see Greg put the combinations he knows how to throw off.
Seems like in the early going here, anytime there's a brief flurry, it automatically goes to the clinch and it slows the action down. It's not what Mark Delagrati wants from Rebello.
Well, I'm quite sure that Mark would like to see a little more distance, you know, but whether it's Greg coming forward or whether it's Dudley trying to cause the kicks, that's what Delagrati was calling for right there.
Rebello gets a little separation, lands a few combinations, right back to the clinch. This time Dudley trying to get the takedown.
Dudley's trying to prevent the takedown. Greg's got both his hands behind Dudley's knees looking to take him down, and he did. Nice sprawl by Dudley, back to his feet very quickly.
I apologize, he was trying to prevent it, not get the takedown, as you corrected me on.
Not on purpose, sir.
3.5 to go in the second round.
Greg's trying to work that takedown again. But I think this is where Greg's corner would like him to get the separation, just to let the striking go. Now that's something a little bit different. Dudley, instead of kneeing the inside, is kicking the inside leg from the clinch. Nice combination by Greg, a nice left hand counter by Dudley.
Oh, for a second, Rebello had a little bit of separation, not much. And now he backs
Nice
off.
straight left hand by Rebello, but he kind of walks right back into that clinch again.
It's become apparent that as he gets closer to Dudley, Dudley is going to automatically clinch and try to draw him closer to him. And now you see Kevin McDonald.
Well, there's a little bit of a low blow. That knee just struck a little under the belt. I'm a big fan of seeing the replays of those. If our friends from Fight Street,
Nothing Scott Ream enjoys more than a low blow. Not quite replay worthy on that one. The action resumes here. 2:20 to go in round number 2.
maybe in between rounds.
Dudley misses with a left. Big left that time. That one lands
Right on
by
the
Dudley.
draw. Rebello
Head
comes
kick
back.
upstairs. Dudley holding his own in the exchanges, Sky. Got to give him some credit. He landed two big right hands early.
Absolutely. And then he comes forward.
Yeah, backs
he
up
walks
Rebello.
forward with his punches as opposed to any type of boxing style or Thai style. He kind of runs you over with the punches.
It's a bit unorthodox, but it works. It backed Rebello into the cage again, and here we are in the clinch one more time.
That left hook definitely got Greg's attention to where Greg threw a kick up. Short left hook by Dudley. Greg digs under for the underhooks, and he's going to try to reverse himself off the cage here, which he does very well. Here's the separation his corner's called for. And there's your takedown, and Dudley gets on top.
Rebello missed with the overhand left. Dudley ducked under and got the takedown.
Now with a minute and 15 seconds left in this round, very advantageous position. Greg does have a good ground game, we're well aware. He was able to go from side control to half guard. Greg was able to cover that. But from this position, you can still do a lot of damage. Getting Dudley off him, Greg getting back to his feet would be paramount. This would be a tough way to ride out the round with Dudley on top. Dudley now, what he needs to do is to control Greg's hips and rain down some damage.
Well, it certainly prevents Rebello from being on his feet where he's comfortable and striking and scoring. And that's certainly what Dudley would want here.
Well, Dudley's gonna look to control and prevent what Greg's actually doing is walking the wall, which is a great idea, is fantastic. That's what he wants to do, is get back to his feet. And Dudley right there, control the hips, take him right back down. Greg's gonna repeat the process. He's gonna control Dudley's head and try to walk that cage, walk that wall right back up again.
Still time left, 15 seconds to be exact in round number 2. Rebello this time does get back to his feet, but Dudley's got him locked in tight.
Dudley's gonna drive underneath, try to grab that leg and try to take down one more time.
And there's the bell for round number 2. Kind of a frustrating finish for Rebello Scott toward the end. Let's listen into J.A. Dudley's corner.
Yo, when you go over his head next time, that side control, cradle his ass. Put your arm over his head so you can pin him and have the best control. Before the third round, just wipe the sweat off him, all right?
You get a quick takedown. He's made frames. He got underhook. He's left center. Right? You're fighting too much. When he gets underhooked or overhooked, he's going to flash performance.
Yo, get that grip and work pop off. This is how down and working, man.
There was the knee that we saw that was a little on the low blow side. Tough angle, but it did look like it was just under the belt line. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, and everybody else who contributed to making me smile. Sorry, Greg. You saw Dudley's corner in between rounds basically tell him, when you get that side control position, bring your arm across and control his upper body as well. It's not just the hips you need to do. You need to control the upper torso so they don't want Greg to roll on the inside. Nice outside leg kick by Greg there.
Third and final round of this cruiserweight bout on the way. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream, cage side from CES MMA 26. Dudley missing upstairs with a head kick. Rebello in the black trunks, Dudley in the gray. But an evenly matched bout to these first 2 rounds. Tough one to
jab by
score,
Dudley.
really. Both rounds tough to score.
Close rounds, I mean, right now could it be 2 rounds to none one way or the other, depending on the judge. Rebello's been working inside, outside legs. Dudley landed a nice jab early, and Rebello just threw that straight left hand and went right to the clinch.
I think Rebello's trying to set up for that left hand.
There's something that Greg sees in the clinch. I think he believes if he can get Dudley down, I think he believes he can keep him there. He just has to get him there. Nice
That's been the difficult part, certainly.
There's your combinations from Greg.
Dudley lands a straight left of his own during the exchange.
Nice short left uppercut.
And again, Scott, as we mentioned, he's held his own in these exchanges with Greg Rebello. Certainly not looking overmatched by any means. 3.5 to go in the fight.
Well, he has a 100% upside down record. 7 wins over 14 losses. And he's not fighting that way tonight.
Absolutely. Much better fighter than the record would indicate. We saw that in June against Willie Brown. We're seeing it again here tonight against the veteran Greg Rebello. And it certainly speaks to the level of competition Dudley has faced through the years, and again facing a 16-6 fighter on his home turf.
Yep, he does not look outclassed. He does not look out of his league. You know, this is a very back and forth fight. As you can see right now, you know, both fighters are reversing each other on the cage. And you just heard Rebello's corner say breakaway and flurry. Get some separation, get some space, and flurry.
Well, Mark Delagrati has called for the separation the entire fight. Obviously, it's easier said than done. I think you're right. There's something in the clinch that Rebello sees that's kind of led him to it. 2.5 to go in the third and final round. Nice lead left by Dudley.
Followed up by a grazing right hand, but both punches landed.
And again, Scott, during some of these exchanges, he has backed up Rebello against the cage a couple times.
We're working with some big boys. You know, they were 225 yesterday.
That's right.
And I reiterate, yesterday.
Fighters tend to rehydrate overnight. It's interesting to see what they may weigh in this bout. Could be talking more than 500 combined pounds of weight in this cage. Nice
combination, rear leg. Now Rebello's flurrying like his corner asked for, and he probably landed 4 out of the 8 punches he just threw.
One of the better flurries for Rebello coming in these final 2 minutes of the fight.
Yeah, and Greg Rebello just opened up Dudley on that exchange.
And you see the blood on Dudley's arm.
It would really behoove Greg to reverse Dudley and separate again.
Dudley's face a bit bloodied after that exchange. A good opportunity for Rebello, like you said, to get that separation and strike one more time. There it is.
This is the separation and the flurries that Rebello's corner's been calling for.
Rebello going for the tried and true head kick, goes downstairs with a left hook to the body. Big left hand. He got him with
that one. Hurt Dudley bad. Rebello's looking to finish here. Finally letting his hands go. Separate here too. That's what I'm sure his corner wants. Dudley with the takedown with a minute left in the round.
Dudley not quitting at all. We thought he might have been in trouble there. He gets the takedown.
That was a blast of a left hand that just totally spun Dudley around.
Turned Dudley around, and Rebello went into
that broke Dudley's nose, if you ask me. The blood's coming out of Dudley's nose profusely.
Still plenty of time, Scott. 45 seconds to go in this third and final round.
Dudley's controlling Rebello right now, dropping those short elbows on him. It really would do Greg a big service to get off his back right now. You don't want to finish a fight on your back, eating elbows. But that left hand just totally broke his nose, in my opinion.
You got to figure Dudley's probably getting his legs back here in this last 35 seconds or so.
But that nose is spewing just like it broke.
Rebello's fights tend to end up a bloody mess. This one is no different. Final 10 seconds. Dudley seems content to finish here. Rebello obviously would not, but a big round for Rebello nonetheless.
Greg's just keeping Dudley close in this.
That's going to do it. Great fight, great third and final round. Greg Rebello turned it on in the final minute and a half. Be interesting to see how the judges call it. And that may have very well been the decisive round, Scott. It could have very well been a round apiece going into the third. Interesting to see how it's scored. You got to think the exchanges certainly went Rebello's way in this third round, especially that last flurry. That big left hand is probably the most effective punch of the night by either fighter.
I'd love to see that straight left hand again, maybe like 5 seconds before it.
So 3 rounds in the books between Greg Rebello and J.A. Dudley, and like you said, that upside-down record of J.A. Dudley may have been 7-14 coming in, but certainly fights like a fighter who was 14-7. always willing to take on tough competition. Tonight's no different. Dudley comes into Rebello's hometown and puts on a great fight. We're going to take a look at some replays here, Scott, of this third and final round, some of the great action toward the end.
You'll see this exchange. If this is what we're leading up to, Greg's left hand. You can see Greg, he just, now when he's bouncing on his toes, now he's looking to let his hands go, settle in. Dudley feints on the way in, Rebello settles, and you'll see that's your footwork off the feint.
There was certainly a point too, Scott, where Rebello went upstairs with a head kick and then went to the body with the hook.
Nice short left hook.
And that's not the exchange we were talking about toward the end, but where it did occur, Rebello went upstairs with that left head kick.
And then came back with a straight hand.
Right to the body, and then it set up that big left hand that rocked J.A. Dudley toward the end of the round. But give credit to Dudley for getting that takedown too.
Oh, yeah.
He was certainly in some trouble at the end.
Yep.
And did a nice job just holding on, getting his legs back, and limiting the damage. May not have been enough to win the fight, but at least limiting the damage and not getting stopped. So that's how it goes. 3 rounds in the book between Dudley and Rebello. We'll send it down to Adam Palacio for the official decision.
After 3 tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Wayne Lima has the fight, 29-28. Judge Jason Randolph has the fight, 29-28. Judge Paul Asmer has the fight, 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Ribz Rebello.
Unanimous decision win for Greg Rebello, 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. Scott, here it is right there. There's that left hand, turns around Dudley.
Dudley kind of walked into it, but that was flush. And then you see this is the first time in the fight where Greg kept at distance and let those hands go.
Here's another angle.
It's a bit of an overhand. But now Greg senses that he's hurt. He keeps that distance and starts letting those hands go.
And coincidentally enough, that may have been the decisive edge on 2 of those scorecards. You had 2 29-28 scores,
Yep.
and perhaps that flurry is what pushed Rebello over the top in that third and final round to give him the unanimous decision. So Greg Rebello gets the win, 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. He is now 17-6. J.A. Dudley, a game J.A. Dudley drops to 7-15. Stay tuned for more. We're not going anywhere. It's CES MMA 26 live from Twin River.
150% of new book value if it's worth more than $5,000. The official dealership of